What's up, guys? Welcome back to another deck profile video. Today I'm bringing you guys my updated Sword Soul deck profile. We're just going to hop straight into the list. Moving on to the starters, and aka the Sword Soul package. We're on 3 copies of Ecclesia, 3 copies of Smoye, 3 copies of Longworn, and 2 copies of Taya for the main Sword Soul monster lineup. For the 10 monsters, we're on 3 copies of Ashuna, 2 copies of Vishuddha, 2 copies of Adara, and 1 copy of Shithana. I hope I said that name right. And then, of course, for the last cards for the monsters, we're on 3 copies of Ghost Mourner, 3 copies of Ghost Spell, 2 copies of Ogre. And then, moving on to the spell cards, we're on 3 copies of Emergence, 2 Heavenly Dragon Circle. However, you could cut it down to 1 if you are playing the Synchro that can search the 10 Infinity Field spell. We're also playing the 1 Vessel of the Dragon Cycle, the 1 Sword Soul Sacred Summit. It's actually not a bad card. The 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. Then for the trap cards, we're on the 1 Blackout and the 1 Reframing for a 40 card list. Moving on to the extra deck, there is 1 copy of Chen Ying, 2 copies of Chi Chao, 2 copies of Longwon, 2 copies of Draco. You can easily just cut it down to 1 if you want. 2 copies of Baxia, you have to play 2. 1 copy of Yazi, 1 copy of Chaofeng, 1 copy of Dragite, 2 copies of Monk, and 1 copy of Shaman. That's it for my Sword Soul deck profile. If there's any changes or recommendations you guys have in the comments, feel free to let me know, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.